from the Whittier side going through, it says we can just drive straight through. We have a green light on lane 4. So we do not have to wait. Back out in sunshine. We'll take the sunshine. Well, look at that.
Nice, have to adjust.
Yeah. We have to get our daytime eyes back on. Well, wasn't that something? Now I think we'll head over to Williwaw National Forest Campground and look for a campsite. What do you think, dear?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Especially now that things look like they're clearing up a little bit. We might get some sunshine. Well, there's that speed hump again. Speed hump. There. So that was today's adventure, to go down to Whittier and look around, experience the tunnel, come back, and I think that we've accomplished that. Oh, there's another one of your speed humps, Steve. Double humps. Placer Creek.
Looks like a couple drifts on the mountain up there yet.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it melted yet.
Definitely a little glacier over there.
Little tunnel. Don't have to pay for this one. My, oh my, what a beautiful campsite. The big snow-capped mountain right out our window. Tomorrow we'll go walking on the Blue Ice Trail. I hear a waterfall's back there somewhere. This is a beautiful campground. Williwaw, and we're on Site 45. It's National Forest campground, so our senior access pass grants us half price, $11.50 for a beautiful black-topped road, blacktop pull-through site, picnic table and fire ring. Of course, no hookups, but what can you expect for $11.50? Here's a different type of fire pit, just guarding it from the wind and the breeze, and still a rack over the top. And it pivots up out of the way. That's pretty neat. It's not on the campsite though, it's over here at the amphitheater. So I'm thinking it's maybe used to help warm things up when they have nature gatherings here. People can come over and warm up by the fire. Yeah, it's really different. Here we are on the Blue Ice Trail, right near Williwaw Campground. It's a nice boardwalk alongside a little babbling brook. Snow-covered mountains in the background. There's the waterfall we're hearing right back over there. We can hear that from our campsite. The views are just gorgeous on this trail, and the mountains that get closer and closer to Whittier are more covered with snow. It's colder and windier over there than on this side of the mountain range. That's only like 7 miles away. Gonna have to look at the map. I think that is Portage Glacier right here. This is the waterfall we can hear from our campsite. We are that far away. Amazing. Gosh, I love this camera. And here we are home again, back from our walk. Oh my, what are we cooking now in the What Have You kitchen? I call this stir fry. But I don't do it all together. I do it in separate pans. That's kind of the way I like it. I mix it together at the end in layers in my bowl. So what I start out with here is some white rice. I cheated. I did a boil-in bag. It's a lot easier. And then I have leftover pork ribs that we had barbecued. I sliced them up along with some onions and garlic and some sesame sauce from P.F. Chang's. So that's the meat. And then over the top I have steamed vegetables. I have some carrots and some broccoli, green beans, peas, and best of all, zucchini, which Steve doesn't care for the zucchini, so I get them all. So this is what I call my stir fry. And then over the very top, then I ladle some of the juice. Well, here, I'll just pour it on, which is a sesame sauce. And there we go. That is my stir fry. Okay, we are stopped along the Sterling Highway, right near the Boar Tide Viewing Center, and the tide is coming in. So this is the Cook Inlet of Turnagain Arm, and the tide is getting higher and higher here as we're going in. You can kind of see the waves right there. It rolls in so fast here. It's going to be high tide soon. There's a boar tide coming in right over there. See the wave? Little crest. I don't have a zoom with this camera, but you can see the wave coming in. Okay, here's the tide coming in. And this is one of the boar waves, B-O-R-E. It's like a little wave across the water, like a whitecap. As it's coming in that fast and rapid, the tide. That's not a wave from the wind. That's a wave from the tide coming in. You can see how rapidly it's crawling up these gravel shorelines. Out here, even on these 2 points, you can see little waves on the edges of the points where it's increasing rapidly. And again, this is along the Sterling Highway, Turnagain Arm. that leads out to Cook Inlet by Anchorage. And the levels of tide go from 1 foot below sea level to just about 33 feet above sea level. You can see how rapidly this water's increasing. Look at that, those rocks that were just there are almost covered. That's how quick it comes in. Holy cow. So we're right by what's called the Boar Tide Viewing Area. We're at the next stop down, actually, because the tide has rolled in this far. We stopped at this one. It's the last stop before the turnoff to Girdwood. About 3 miles north of Girdwood is where we're watching this phenomenon. Look at those waves. That is amazing. And people who live around the ocean think, big deal, the tide's no big thing. But for people like us, we're on the Great Lakes. We don't have tides. Here's the waves rolling in. You can see the whole crescent of the water that's increasing with the tide level. Look how rapidly that comes in and those rocks just disappear. That is really amazing. We moved forward just for a little better vantage viewing spot, and the scenery is just gorgeous. Here's the Boar Tide coming up against this point of a sandbar, or a gravel bar if you want to call it that, where it's literally like a wave rolling in. It's not waves on a lake lapping forward and back. This is just an ever-increasing wave covering up the point. In an hour and a half, this whole area here should be underwater. The sandbar is rapidly disappearing. Look at the wave come in on the surface. Look at that, there it goes. I'm not moving the camera. That's just disappearing. That's how rapidly it's happening right there. Look at that. And it's gone. Here, I'll move over here. Watch. I'm not moving the camera. And just like that, look. It's all gone. Isn't that amazing? I'll zoom out now. And that whole point that I just started filming is gone.